And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from American Legion Post 61 family, Commander Stephen Leave, and, of course, our president of the auxiliary, Jenn, with us as well.
Also the commander of the Sons now.
Oh, and Commander's Sons.
So we got everybody here.
Yeah, we got them all. So good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Right.
Good. I know you guys were up in Albuquerque this weekend doing a lot of American Legion stuff.
State convention.
Yeah, for state convention. Any good stuff come out of that?
Oh, yeah. Actually, we had quite a few interesting things happen.
Good.
We elected new officers, of course.
Sure.
And I was installed as District 6 president, so now it's official.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Or condolences, whatever way it's supposed to
A
be.
little of both. It should be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to visit all the units and stuff here in Southeast New Mexico.
So you're going to get some road time over the next year here, I guess.
Yeah. I'm hoping so anyway, because during COVID, of course, you couldn't visit the post-serve units. So
now
hopefully
a
this
lot
year
more of
we'll
that.
be able to.
So you got to get all parts of the state, right? So you might even be hitting Four Corners and stuff.
No, those are different districts. The district that I'm part of is
just
just
our
down
south.
here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't have to. I was thinking more state level.
No, that's the commander over
Oh.
here. He's part of the
So
department.
he gets to drive all over the
yeah.
state.
Well,
which
I
means
get
you
to
get to
drive.
drive all
Yes.
over the state.
Yeah.
So either way, you're going. So.
It's true.
Good
Very
deal.
true. But
Good deal.
It'll be fun.
Excellent. But as far as the Legionnaire side of things, how are meetings up there?
Well, let's just say that this was the convention of surprises.
All right.
Yes.
So the term would be interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I know there's always politics and things whenever you deal with that stuff. So probably some of that, and then, but as far as like good work and stuff, sounds like some good stuff come out of that at least. So
Yeah.
good deal. Now, as far as us here locally, I know we're busy. We've got a lot of
Always.
stuff going on coming up and everything else. They just had the flag retirement with Post 28 about 2 weeks ago here.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah, and I guess I guess gearing up for farmers market now. That's kind of the
July
next
9.
the next big thing for our Post 61 family here. When right after UFO Festival and all this weekend, next weekend the Main Street Roswell will start up the downtown farmers market.
Right.
So you can still get your booths and all that. Go to mainstreetroswell.org. But Post 61 family will be out there each Saturday. Providing, obviously, telling folks more about the Legion and wanting to sign up. But usually we have baked goods and different cool little pieces of swag to purchase
a lot
and
of
stuff.
different organizations are pushing us to enter into the UFO parade. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
We may string a banner on the side of the truck and
5 blocks
Join the
doesn't
crazy.
seem like a parade to me, but
Well, and I think we might be the radio because I think Clyde Lewis is coming into town tonight actually.
Oh.
And so
I'm
we'll
sorry, who's Clyde Lewis?
Clyde Lewis is our syndicated nighttime conspircy talk guy. He's
perfect for UFO.
nationally
Gotcha.
syndicated
He's
show
like the
host.
old G. Gordon Liddy show.
Yeah, he would think of Coast to Coast AM with back in the day that kind of thing. But he does he actually because Coast to Coast is still on. It's George Norrie now. It's not Art Bell. But think of Art Bell.
Yeah.
Think of Art Bell with a more modern twist. That's kind of what I would compare Clyde
There's a
Lewis
couple
to.
of late night guys I remember from years ago. One of them was G. Gordon Liddy, and the other one was.
Well, Liddy was more political,
Well,
because he was actually middays. He started middays in D.C. I remember when G. Gordon Liddy started on radio. I heard it, and it was
and I don't know
interesting.
any of these people, so.
G. Gordon Liddy was in Watergate.
he was one of the plumbers.
Watergate.
Yeah, he went
Okay.
to jail for Watergate and all of that. He was an FBI
Yeah, but
agent.
he went to jail because
He wouldn't talk.
he wouldn't talk.
Yes.
It's more of a contempt charge
Yes,
thing.
it's
wasn't-
political. It's all
He
political.
didn't get convicted or anything.
Yeah,
He
but
just-
but he ended up being a radio show host after
Oh,
for many
yeah.
years. And but
Okay.
he started in D.C. and he started on middays on a station called WJFK.
Yeah.
And they had Howard Stern on in the morning, and then they had
that was back before Howard Stern really took a hard edge.
that was before. Well, it was not political. It was all fart jokes and
Yeah, pretty much.
and that stuff.
Very highbrow. I see. Yes.
It was
Okay.
that. He didn't get although he did run for governor that time in the 80s there, 90s somewhere in there, and of course that that was interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, I remember Gordon Liddy's start in radio, and that's when I learned that 2 factoids I learned from G. Gordon Liddy. One is you can eat any mammal with the exception of the liver of a polar bear because it's too toxic and will kill you. But any other mammal on Earth is edible to humans.
Really?
According to G. Gordon Liddy.
Well,
No idea.
I don't eat liver anyway, so
Yeah,
I'm safe.
I'm good.
Yeah. And then the other thing was to overcome his fear of thunderstorms as a child. I'm assuming a teenage, I don't know. He lashed himself to a tree during a thunderstorm.
Well, that definitely would take some courage to
Yeah,
do.
that always gets me over everything.
And then to get over his fear of rats, he caught, cooked, and ate one.
Oh. See, I had rats as pets as a kid. They
You
make
know, I just didn't know
great
these
pets,
fun
so
facts.
I learned them all from listening to
You
the
know-
G. Gordon Liddy show back in the 90s or 80s there when it was on.
I'm just
Okay.
wondering if there's an equivalent website for the Mike Winters show.
No, I don't have anything nearly as exciting as lashing myself.
I mean, how did you get over your childhood fear of rats? You know,
I don't know. I don't know if I had a fear of rats. I got a fear of
so
heights.
you
which-
ate rats early in life?
Yeah,
Okay.
I became one. No, just kidding.
Oh. Yeah.
No,
I don't think Kim would appreciate that.
no. She married a rat. No, just kidding. But yeah, I learned a lot from him. But I got sidetracked again. I'm going to bring it back.
Okay.
But we were talking. We had the flag retirement
Yes, we did.
ceremony. We had now, like we said, we're turning our attention here to farmers market, veterans parade. I know they had their meeting last night. So
Right.
So we're
our theme this year is going to be kind of all the little wars that
Oh, yeah.
nobody knows about or cares about. Everything from Panama, Lebanon, Grenada,
gotcha. All
all
the
that
little
stuff.
skirmishes.
and primarily we're focusing on
Libya maybe in there too.
Well, that
was more of a bombing.
Well, kind of like an afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But we're going from roughly 75 to 91, so we can save Gulf War for next year.
Right up to Gulf War.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Peace through strength and all that stuff.
So really, part of the Cold War era and some of the skirmishes post Vietnam, I guess you could say.
Kind of the second Cold War, more or less.
Yeah. Interesting.
But anyway, we're going to do that. We've got more agencies involved this year than before, and
yeah.
we're hoping for more.
Yeah. Because I know what
yeah.
VFW's getting involved
Yeah,
this
they're-
year.
they're-
VFW is already
Along-
involved.
Yeah, it's pretty
Obviously, both
exciting.
American Legion Post and Town are working on this, so that's a lot more resources here too. So.
Yeah, and this is good. And we're actually going bigger and better again, of course.
Great.
And that's how we roll.
Sure.
So we're going to have vendors and all that happy stuff.
And by the way, there's still room for more. If someone's listening and
yes.
wants to be a
Oh,
part
yes.
of planning for this year's Veterans Parade, which will take place,
It'll be a little
Veterans Day.
sporadic at first, but then it'll go to a weekly meeting as we get
Closer.
Closer.
Yeah.
Later summer here, it'll get
September
heavier.
or so, we go to weekly meetings. As we get closer and closer, I'm going to actually be filing the paperwork for the parade probably this weekend. I already got the insurance for it, and we're going to have a essay contest again this year.
for the students in school.
We're also going
Right,
to
yeah.
have
Artwork.
art contest.
Yep, we're gonna do poppy posters, and we're hoping to team up with make it more, I guess you could say, official this year, because there's also a national competition that the American Legion Auxiliary does for the
Okay.
poppy posters.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna see if I can't connect the two so
I
that they
gotcha.
have a chance to get national recognition if they win.
Cool. Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
our plan for the sponsors this year is to actually have real advertising this year.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're going to take a portion of the sponsoring fees and apply it to like this radio station, Majestic,
Yeah.
RDR,
Radio and paper and
all that
All that, yeah.
stuff, whatever
television,
we
whatever
do.
promotions. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good.
So like we'll probably pick a number like 20% or something. So 20% of whatever the donation is.
So any
Then we would apply that to like your radio station, for instance, which I know that you guys match us.
yeah, we do
So
for nonprofits.
We
do a
get
discount.
twice as much bang for the buck.
Yeah.
So we can actually do that and still make a little bit of money to spread around so that our nonprofit, veteran support can continue.
Yeah, absolutely. So anybody listening out there that wants to be a sponsor, it's not too early to say, yeah, I'm in. So if any
It's never
businesses
too early to
out
give us
there,
money.
yeah, if there's any business out there that said, oh, good, I want to be a sponsor for this year's Veterans Parade,
Right.
reach out to American Legion, Post
Yeah,
61
anything
or
over, say, $500.
Yeah.
Going to get real, actual advertising out of it.
Yeah.
Anything below 500, you'll get mentions on the radio. Which
we'll mention everybody that's part of this.
Specifically, I'm going to shout out to Reineke Medical right now because they just gave me $250 for our Cub Scout program.
They've been supporting our posts since day one.
They have.
They really
They've been
have,
truly very generous and helpful.
Yeah, they gave the auxiliary $500 for the charity bears.
Yep.
They gave me $250 for the scouts, which of course involves the auxiliary and the sons too.
Yeah, that's an all hands on deck.
It is. It's
So,
a big project.
It's
Some
going to
with
be
kids,
good.
man. It gets
I
busy.
just got off the phone with Matt McGowan over at Scouts before I came on here this morning, and he told me that the charter paperwork has been entered, so we're official.
Yay!
Although he's not able to see it, I guess he's got a computer glitch going on.
Gotcha.
But the guy that runs Conquistador said that it was in there and pending.
Woohoo!
Good.
Further, our scouts have already completed their 3 requirements for the summer award.
Oh, good.
They've been very busy.
The minute that, according to Matt, the minute that it goes active in the computer, they'll just slam in that information.
Good deal. So they're hitting the ground running, and
They are.
What's
apparently some of our scouts have already earned Cub.
Awesome.
They're
Bobcat or whatever. The
Bobcat.
first, yeah.
That's what it was. He
Bobcat.
told me this morning. I had no idea we progressed that much in like
Now,
just a couple of
it's
weeks.
been a couple of years since I've done Cub Scouts, but yeah, Bobcat's the first rank, then Wolf, and then Bear, and then they go to Weeblos after
I think
that.
so,
And I think
yeah.
Weeblos is 2 years now. It used to be just 1 year when I did it. But,
Okay.
And then if they
We
complete
beat
and go
loyal
through,
scouts.
exactly, and then they get the high, and if they stick around and earn it, the highest honor in Cub Scouting is the Arrow of Light, and that's the one thing. At least it was when I was in, that crosses over from Cub Scouting to Boy Scouting or to the Scouting.
I had an arrow light,
Yeah.
and I had the actual arrow,
Yeah.
and my dog ate it. And it sounds so cliche,
Yeah.
but I think I still have the broken pieces of the thing, but it's
Aw.
just all cut
Yeah.
up. And Matt said something about maybe he tried to get it replaced for me, but I don't know that that's possible. I mean, that was so many years ago.
Yeah, but that was the one thing I remember. And then, of course, you get into the scouting side, then you progress up to those ranks to
Some
ultimate Eagle Scout.
interesting
Yeah.
factoids that came up this morning in my conversation with Matt, and he said that Post 61 actually had a troop back in like 1919.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I
You
guess
mean 28?
yeah.
Okay, because 61
Or
wasn't around.
not 61.
Yeah.
I mean 28
Okay.
had it back in like 1919.
That was back in the days of Baden Powell.
Yeah,
Lord
or
Baden
23
Powell.
or-
And,
Maybe it was 23 or something. I don't.
Wow.
Anyway, it was
Yeah.
a long time ago. But they're
Yeah.
still doing research, see if they can find the name of the old Cub Master or
Oh,
Scout
okay.
That'd be
Master
cool.
or whatever. But that's quite a legacy.
yeah, well, that's what I was saying. That was the era of Baden Powell, and he's like the founder of scouting. He's the
Right.
guy.
And he
We owe
also
it all to him.
mentioned that PAC 61 apparently existed before, like in the 80s or something. But it was not associated with the American Legion, I guess. So
Okay.
this is the first time that we've associated PAC 61 with the American Legion, I guess. So,
Oh, cool.
but I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs, and don't quote me on any of this stuff until we find out for sure. But that's just kind of what we were talking about this morning, that there was quite a
Nifty.
legacy here.
Good.
At
I love that history, and I'm glad
Isn't
it's
it?
kind of being unearthed a little bit as we start these
Yeah,
up. So
I mean, I think originally we had talked about this being the first time that the Scouts and the American Legion here had been associated, I guess, but that's just not the case.
Yeah.
So
Which is a good thing, I guess.
it is
Yeah.
Because,
well, and being involved in both organizations, they share a lot of
there is
common,
there's a lot
Well,
of
they do,
overlap.
but I had no
Yeah.
idea that there were 13 laws, and I guess the 13th one was pizza or something.
Oh,
So.
I think that's unofficial. I don't think you'll find that on a handbook.
No, it's the unofficial Cub
Well, I
Scouts
do
are
know
always
that
hungry.
pizza is the 8th deadly sin.
Yeah. There's still 12 points of the Scout Law and the Scout Oath, and
Yeah, well, except for pizza. Yeah.
yep.
Okay, so we got farmers market coming up. We're going to be out there every
Saturday.
starting July 9th.
Yeah,
We're going to
7
be
to
at,
11.
I'm telling you, if you want the good baked goods,
You
be
gotta
there
get there early.
Get
Yeah.
there early. You wait till like 10 o'clock.
They're
I
gone.
tend to sell them all before 8:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or 9 on a slow day.
the early bird gets the worm, and that's really true of everything out there. You get to get
And
there early to
it's
get the good
homemade.
stuff.
This is not store-bought stuff.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is made in people's homemade. Yeah. This is
One of our auxiliary members and her grandkids, who she just signed up for scouting, make the baked goods. And they
Nice.
have a
Just got
blast
back
doing
from
it.
Disney
Yeah.
World, by the way.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. So creations aplenty, I'm sure.
Yep,
She's got
yep.
some ideas of brewing
So we're going to be at Eastern New Mexico State Fair, of course, this year again
in the fall.
in
Yep.
in October.
Yep.
I just sent in the paperwork for that, so that's all.
Okay.
We're all signed up for that. Jen and I have to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the end of
August.
August.
Wow.
National convention.
That's National Milwaukee, huh?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, New Mexico this year is not 55th out of 55 anymore.
That's
Yes.
good.
Yeah, we're at about, what was it, 19th, I think.
Yeah.
We
Oh, that's
dropped
quite a jump.
Yeah, we're talking membership here.
33%
Wow.
membership jump.
That's
And for the
great.
Sons of the American Legion, we're number 8
Which
Oh, wow.
is very impressive.
out of 55.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
And
they've been doing some recruiting in this state over the last year.
Well, it's good because I may possibly be there as the National Executive Committee man for New Mexico, and I don't have to sit behind the post.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
don't need opera glasses to see the
You
stage.
get a good
right, exactly.
Because the last few years we've been so far back. You know, I mean, if that was a nosebleed section, we'd all have been pouring blood out of our noses.
seat. There's that tissues on the wall for your
Right.
But you
nosebleeds.
needed to bring binoculars to see the stage. Now, last year they were really nice. They put these huge TVs
so you could see.
about
Yeah.
halfway down so you could actually see what was happening. But there was no way you could just barely make out there was
There's people standing up there, but we don't know who it is.
Although from that perspective, it's pretty cool to see the sea of hats in the audience.
That's true.
That's got to be a cool visual.
There weren't as many as you might think.
Really?
Because last year when you
Oh,
look at
because
the-
of COVID.
it was all spread out everywhere and all that stuff.
Well, this
Yeah.
one next time, I bet here in at the end of the summer here, I bet will be more full and more
Yeah.
Well, I hope.
normally the way it looks.
And from the auxiliaries perspective, everybody's going to be looking at us because New Mexico, for membership, is #1 in the nation.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right.
Yes,
That's
we are
right.
extremely proud of all
And
of our
apparently this
recruiting.
is the first time it's ever happened.
That's great.
Yeah, according to what I know, yeah, New
Good for
Mexico
them.
is we're doing
Good for New
extremely
Mexico.
well.
That's great to
Well,
see.
New Mexico is a very laid-back state.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
this
But
is true.
We're beating out Pennsylvania and all the bigwigs. So
Yeah, well,
is
that's
good.
great to see. So, by the way, if you're interested in becoming a part of the Legionnaire family,
Yes.
whether it's, in the auxiliary or the Sons or as a Legionnaire, you're more than welcome. We
please
love
do
to have.
because we'd really like to stay #1, and we got
Yeah.
a state that's nipping at our heels.
Yeah.
And I do
Requirements.
want to mention, if you want to get your kids into Cub Scouts, if you have a military background in any way and you join the American Legion or the Sons or the auxiliary,
Mm-hmm.
for your first year, we match you dollar for dollar.
Okay.
So if you
So if you want to get your kid in our
Yeah.
Cub Scout pack, you get a little discount in your scouting if you become a Legionnaire.
That's right,
Right.
for the
Makes
first year.
sense.
You get a discount in the second, year and going forward, but it's not as significant as
Sure.
the first year. It's just initially to get you in.
But please also remember, you do not have to have any Legion connections to be in this Cub Scout pack.
you
No,
do
you
not
don't.
have to.
Yeah, if
but
you-
it
if
is
you just
advantageous financially.
Sure,
But,
sure. But if you're just interested in getting your kid into scouting, come on down, and we'd love to have you
Right.
come be a part of that.
And
But-
that may not sound significant, but for instance, like I said, I just got a donation from Reinecke. So the more money we have in that account, we will spread that around to all the different scouts that qualify.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
as long as you have a Legion connection, it's kind of like getting a bonus at work. You get a portion of that.
Sure,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the way, as far as Legionnaire requirements to become or to be eligible to be a Legionnaire, it's actually not as hard as you
pretty
think.
wild.
Yeah.
If you've served anywhere from December 7th, 1941 to today, you're in.
Yeah, and you weren't dishonorably discharged, basically.
Right.
Right. Yeah. No BCDs. No
Yeah.
bad chicken dinners.
Yeah.
But Legion-wise, that's been fairly relaxed.
Yeah.
So the Sons follows the same thing. As long as you're a descendant of a father, a grandfather, a direct lineage, then you can join them.
Sons is actually the only one that's gender specific. You have to be
It's son,
a
so you
son,
have
a
to be
male.
male.
Well,
Yeah.
and the auxiliary is kind of gender specific too, because the only way you could join as being a male is a spouse of a veteran.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But there's no
still-
law saying that the wife could have been the veteran, and therefore the husband is eligible to become a Legionnaire.
Right.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
changed
only
that
way
a couple
that
years
works.
ago.
So really,
But if you qualify under any of those auspices and you're going to school, we have scholarships. So there are 5 scholarships available this year. I've only
Yes.
got 2 applicants so far.
so we can
and-
get some more applications in, and we got some more money to give away.
Right.
So-
We're going to start, and these are all up to $2,500. So
It's nothing to sneeze at.
the next disbursement we're going to start deciding on, we'll decide in August for the fall. So we're going to start doing that.
Yeah. So get
And
your
we're going to
applications
have a
in.
minimum of 4 scholarships every year perpetually. This year we happen to have 5. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So please apply. RoswellLegion.org will be the website. You find all of that stuff we're talking about there.
don't leave money on the table. Don't believe everything you read on the internet either, because I haven't updated all of the documents. But this is a perpetual thing.
We've been a little
and
busy. We'll get it updated.
Yeah.
This
Gotcha.
next decision process will be starting in August.
Good.
So
Good deal.
yeah.
But-
Don't worry about deadlines or anything like that. We work directly with the university
Yeah.
or college or trade school or
Yeah.
whatever, as long as you qualify for any of the things. If we get to the add drop date for your university or whatever and it's available, you get it. So
Generally speaking, whenever we try to give a university money, they really don't have much problem taking it from us. So
Yeah, just make sure your name's attached to it and you're good to go.
yeah, so that won't be a problem. They usually are very welcoming when we give them money.
Yes.
but I do want to emphasize the up to $2,500, because if we go in and find out that you only owe $1,000, we're just going to pay off that semester.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you the rest of the money to go party on.
Sure.
Because we want this money to go towards education.
Right.
And this can apply to tuition, books, equipment,
Sure.
all that stuff. It does not go towards housing or food
Or your
or
party
your
beer fund.
party-
Directly for the classes or instruments you need for said classes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's for the STEM classes, so science, technology, engineering,
Engineering.
mathematics.
First responders, all that
Yeah,
fall into that same
includes
category.
nursing and fire and EMT and all of that.
Police
Yeah.
officers.
But yeah, all STEM related. So that's pretty much that's a very,
very
broad.
broad.
Don't
yes.
leave money on the table, folks.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like air conditioning. That's STEM. That's
there's a lot of
that's
science
a lot
in
of
it.
engineering and science going on there. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're talking.
It's a very broad-based program.
Yep.
Anytime you get an opportunity for free money and you turn your nose up on it, you're just screwing yourself. So
Yeah.
don't do that.
It's
And
like
by
a-
the way, the legacy run's coming through again this year. I don't know
Okay.
that it's going to come through Roswell, but
Okay.
that's also
But later
another
this
thing.
summer, that should be. At some point, they'll come through New Mexico somewhere. I'm
Oh,
guessing.
they're going to be all over New Mexico, but
Yeah.
it just won't necessarily be in Roswell.
Especially since they were here last year, they're probably trying to get another.
well, and the national
community that-
convention's up in Wisconsin, so it
So it
depends
probably
on.
might be a little more
Yeah.
north. Their
But
travels.
they, they offer some huge scholarships as well if you have a military connection.
Yeah,
so,
the legacy scholarship is for those children of veterans from the 9/11 war
Gotcha.
era. So if you have a connection there, take advantage of it because
I
there's
know,
some significant
like
money
last year,
available.
we raised a good hunk of money for
Yes,
them.
we
Yes, we
last
did.
year,
yes, we
so.
did. And we also changed the program so that every other year you can reapply. Now, the focus is on new applicants, But if we still have a scholarship available,
and someone's in need,
yeah,
that's
so
done it
like
before. And it's,
Tanya, who we gave one last year, she wouldn't be eligible this year, but next year, if she's still in school and she applies, she could get another
granted,
one.
like we said, those will get a lower priority if there's someone who hasn't that applies also.
Yeah.
That they're going to get a little more weight because they haven't won yet. So, but if there is no other applicants and they're, as long as they're still qualified,
That's
then,
right.
Then good luck to you. Here you go.
Got it.
So. But again, RoswellLegion.org is the website. You can learn more about the scholarships and really about everything we do as a Legion post here. So, and then of course, like you said, if you're interested in becoming a Legionnaire or a son, come to our next meeting. It'll be actually next Thursday.
Yep, the 7th.
1 week from today. It'll be our next meeting here.
Well, it's the next official meeting, but we meet pretty much every Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every Thursday, we pretty much are doing craft projects, like we're doing the charity bears.
And you don't have to be super crafty. If you can work a pencil and some scissors, you're good to go.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You can follow instructions.
People hear the word craft and they get scared, but you're not doing any sewing, probably. You're probably just doing
unless you want
cutting.
To. Yeah, unless you got skills, we can use your help.
I mean, all these guys that say, "Oh, I ain't doing no women's thing." Well, come on down. We need cutters and tracers too. You want to operate a nice razor blade?
There you go.
Get that manly feel to you. You can cut these things out. I do them all the time.
We'll give you sharp tools to play with.
Right,
exactly. Bring your own insurance.
There you go.
There you go.
And it all goes to a good cause. What
absolutely.
we're currently working on are the charity bears.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, you can sponsor them for $10 a piece.
Yeah.
Right.
But what we're doing is we're hand making simple little bears that we're going to give to the sheriff's department,
law
RPD,
enforcement,
all of them, so that they can have them in their trunks. So when they roll up on an accident or some other crisis that's happening and there happen to be young children there, they can give them the bears and it helps a little.
Yeah, when a kid's dealing with like if it's a fire or domestic violence situation and all their stuff's there and they got to get the kid out of the house and it's like, well, here you go. Here's a toy, here's something to kind of, and to be honest, it really is a thing where when these kids remember down the road, they're going to look at law enforcement and these folks as people that were helpers,
right?
Not adversaries,
guys,
And so it is good for that side of it too. As much as it is to comfort the kid, I think it's also good in creating that good relationship between the public and law enforcement.
And hopefully Matt Miller is hearing me now, but I want to thank B Shift over there at the fire department. They're always great bunch of guys that come out and support us.
Yeah.
Have you seen Matt play bagpipes, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
He's hoping, a very good bagpipe.
I'm planning on talking to him and see if he wants to play his bagpipes at the Veterans Day thing.
I think...
but I have not had an opportunity to do that. Of course, every time I call him, it goes straight to voicemail.
I'm telling you.
He's very busy.
I'm telling you, when Amazing Grace is played on bagpipes by people that know how to play it, it's the most beautiful song.
Gives you chills, doesn't it?
I hear it does. But it's only that way if the person that's doing it knows how to play. Because if he doesn't or she doesn't, it is arguably the worst sound on the planet.
It can be, yeah.
It's right up there with cat calls and like when cats are like doing their caterwauling in alleys and you hear that god-awful noise, it's very much like
I was okay up until this point in this interview, but now you've really turned me off.
Oh, yeah. Bagpipe is the most beautiful instrument to hear.
Yeah, but you had to bring up caterwauling. That's just bad news. Let me check my cell phone to make sure Lizzie didn't slip and fall again.
Make sure there's it's true. That happened.
During the show,
anniversary.
Let's see. So come September, we'll be doing another Gold Star ceremony.
Okay.
So it'll actually be Gold Star Mothers.
Gold Star Mother this time.
So a mother who has lost a child.
She says that we need to remind people we need people to glue.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, our chairman hates working with glue. So if you want to come help her out, she'd really appreciate
it. Some glue. No, don't sniff the glue. Just use the glue. Don't eat the glue.
You can sniff the glue if you want, but bring your own insurance.
Yeah. So.
Well, you might not get the best gluing skills after a few snorts of the glue.
Well, if anybody knows how to run a mimeograph, So.
See, I don't even know what that is. But anyway, Gold Star Mothers. Sunday, the last Sunday of September.
Okay.
So she doesn't know what a mimeograph is. That's
no.
Well, when you say that now, I think I miss ditto paper.
Oh.
I miss the smell of Ditto paper. You probably don't know that either.
I don't know.
Do you know how to use carbon paper?
I think you have to put things between pages so you don't.
I like how she couches that. I think.
No. In school, they used to, instead of making like copies off copy machine, they had this
like black gold.
Yeah, they had the Ditto machine.
Oh, the Ditto machine and the mimeograph.
Yeah. That's what you said. That's what reminded me of the same era. Yeah. And basically, that's how we got copies of our paperwork as kids do your worksheets and things. Except for the paper was, if it was freshly out of the Ditto machine, was kind of damp
and wet,
and it had this distinct smell.
Oh yeah.
And so it was kind of like, so when it's like, and so I smell that smell and I think of like second grade all over. It's one of those
I remember there was an NCIS episode.
Yeah.
There was an NCIS episode where they lost power, and they were all arguing about how they couldn't do anything because they didn't have power. And it's like Gibbs told him, "Oh, you got to make all kinds of copies and stuff." Oh, we got to do that, and all this stuff. He brings out that mimeograph, pours fluid into it, cranks out a couple of copies, and hands one to him, and he's like, "There."
That's right.
And they just have this look on their face like,
I don't know.
what is that smell?
Only thing worse was he walked in with a rotary phone, I guess. And he was like, what is this confounded contraption?
I've seen them. I've never used one.
How do you use that? Yeah.
No idea. I've seen it, but I've never used it.
Remember the day that the push button, the ones that, you could actually push the button on there came out. It was like, half the time it didn't work.
All I know is it's very hard to win radio contests with a rotary phone. That was be the seventh caller. I'm like, oh, really?
Well,
you're caller 4. Dang it!
Yeah, that was back when we had 7-digit dialing, and you dial 6 numbers, you put the pencil in it, and then you let go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was tricks.
Okay. Yeah. I have used a typewriter.
I remember taking a typing class in high school on a typewriter, and it was a fancy electric one that had its autocorrect thing, which was which they didn't let us use because we're learning to type. But yeah, those were fancy ones. It had a instead of using the old whiteout and everything, it actually had a corrector in it where it would back up and fix it.
Yeah,
that was high tech back in then.
I think that's the one my mom had because it had a quote unquote delete button on it.
Yeah. That's high tech typewriter.
4 when I was using it. I had no idea what I was doing.
Like my dad, he had his one from college in our house for many years, and it looked like literally that it was the old black. I think it was from the 40s, and man, it was
like
cool looking.
Old school.
Oh yeah, it was the whole.
I had an actual typewriter, and I remember the I key. The thing busted off, so it was just that metal thing.
Yeah.
And so in order to type that key, I had to push down on the metal, which would leave a mark in my finger. Yeah. And so I would always avoid words with the letter I in them.
Which is unfortunate because I is a lot of words.
A lot of I's to one will think.
Right?
But see, on those old typewriters, if you didn't have a good solid press,
then it wouldn't.
They wouldn't get it. I mean, then we went to the electric ones where you push it, then it always had the same pressure.
Yeah, his was that old manual, and it literally was like when you hit the button, this lever.
Yeah, the lever. Yeah.
And smacked on it. But and it's kind of cool to watch it because if you're good and fast, it's like it's kind of I didn't have those skills.
Except if you're too fast. They catch.
Yeah.
I did see that one. Yeah. I'm like, Mom, what's wrong with this thing?
Disconnect them. And then we had the high impact printers. I remember the high speed impact printers, and they would just make the most awful noise.
Yeah. And it was fun. My mom was a medical transcriptionist for the government, and she worked at Andrews Air Force Base when I was a little kid. So she typed all day. She was a fast typer. She literally had doctors. She'd play little mini cassettes. And it would be the doctors who were doing their patient, whatever.
They're talking to her,
and they talk into the recorder, and then the medical transcriptionist would have to go and transcribe that into paperwork. So that she did that for the government, for the living, for the Air Force Base there.
Oh, nice.
And but the reason I mention that is because my mom did that for a living, and she had to listen to type and trans. She was a very fast typer, and so even on manual, I'd see her. It was like I remember as a kid just being amazed at watching my mom type because she could do it without looking, and literally she'd be doing this and be like, yeah, we're going to the store tomorrow, and she's still doing this and typing and getting it right, and I'm like, yeah, what do you want for dinner? Hey, what do you? And I'm like,
She's not really
my
thinking
mom
about
could
it.
always,
She's just doing.
She whole life, and she did that with crocheting and watching TV. But she was always that, and I'm not that person. So it amazes me that she could type without looking at what she's typing, listening, and then have a conversation with me, telling me what's for dinner and everything else, and just keep on.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
Moms are impressive people.
She was awesome at that. But when I think of old typewriters, I go right to that.
That's
thought
cool
process.
memory.
Yeah,
I did see a notice that we're going to do a soldier shipment here.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Our
For like care package.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
national security chairman for the auxiliary. She's also in charge of our Blue Star program.
Okay.
And that means that she collects a whole bunch of donations forever she can find them.
Okay.
And then packages them up. And this package we're sending to Guam, to the soldiers over there.
What kind of stuff for, like, if there's anybody listening that wants to contribute, what kind of stuff
Well, you can
looking
find the
for?
list on roswelllegion.org.
Okay.
But basic things. During the summertime, no chocolate because it will melt.
It melts.
But you can do.
But as far as like clothing art, I mean, I know like we always talk treats, but like socks, gloves, is that kind of stuff still needed?
For the most part, the military provides those things.
They're good to go in Guam
But if you
for
want
that?
to, yeah, because it's a base. They're
Yeah.
pretty well supplied. But,
Gotcha.
But it's the
It's not like they're in
niceties.
Kuwait or someplace where
Right.
they got a mini PX and they can get like cigarettes and booze, or well, not booze because it's there, but cigarettes and candy bars. But
Right.
that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
you can send, obviously snacks and food items. Most of the time, the single packages are best because that way it's easier to
They
share.
don't end up crumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
if
way they
you
can
are
pack
gonna-
it in their rucksack or whatever.
Yeah, and if you
go
are
about
going to
their
send
day.
cookies, the store-bought ones tend to ship better. But if you want to make homemade cookies, make sure that you package them kind of tight so they don't crunch.
well packaged and well sealed and all that
Yeah.
to keep them fresh and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
And you can drop those off any Thursday night because we'll be at the First United Methodist Church, which is on 200
Yeah.
North Pennsylvania.
come on by.
We're there about 6 o'clock to 8. So if
Okay.
you want to do that, or if you just give us a call, we can meet up with you and
Yeah.
pick up whatever
Or
you want to donate.
You want to bring it
And,
here? I'll make sure it gets to it too.
And
Okay,
year
that works.
round, we collect flags. If you need flags retired.
to retired, yeah. We're collecting
Right.
the
Collect
old
those year
worn out
round.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that have faded.
And at Memory Lawn, I might add, as soon as they get it up, we got a much larger POWMIA flag
Good.
they're supposed to put up.
I love that nice flag, but it just gets dwarfed by that big American flag. It looks like
put that postage stamp up there.
Yeah.
By comparison, it looks like you have a normal sized flag and then one of those desk ones you just put.
Yeah.
It's not, but the way it's so misproportioned, it looks
Yeah,
like
it-
that.
What
So
we
yeah,
have. And then sometime in July, we're going to put a cenotaph up for
Henry Mayhew.
Henry
Yeah.
Mayhew.
Yeah, the owner of Memory Lawn
yeah.
died
He
back
just
in
passed
April.
away a couple months ago here.
His widow, Deborah Mayhew, has been in contact with me, and they're planning on continuing his legacy.
And by the way, since they've taken over that cemetery, their family, they've been an integral part with us in helping recoup
Yes.
and rehash, and they've been our volunteers and everybody have been putting the sweat equity in and everything out there, but financially and they've been very supportive of what we do and
Right.
help us. They're not hindering us; they're helping us make all
Oh,
this
yeah.
happen. And,
Yeah,
And
we
I must
appreciate
say,
that.
we're probably going to be out there real soon because with this monsoon that just came through, we're going to probably need to get out there with some brush hogs here pretty soon.
Yeah, maybe some fill dirt and everything else too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, but it's a privately held cemetery, so unlike South Park, which is supported
Get
by
city
the
by the city and
Yeah.
those fun. Yeah.
all of the work and the money that goes into it is private. So we really need Roswell support because I know people have family members buried out there.
Yeah.
And we'd love to make it more presentable, but we need
Absolutely.
your help to do that.
Yeah.
As soon as we can finish that fence, and then I guess they were planning on running electric power out there so that the fences will be automated. Open
Okay,
and
so you can go in and
close,
out and
Right.
secure more.
Yeah.
Secure. I like that, and let's face it, it's a beautiful cemetery, and it looks light years better than what it did.
It's starting to green up.
But there's still a long way to go.
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
I'm
but,
not saying it's anywhere near
but it
done.
but it does kind of warm the heart to see that
Yeah,
that
one
people
of
are
the-
go back doing stuff.
One of the
there.
farmers out there, he takes time out of his day, pretty much every day, to drag water lines for us.
That's
Yes.
great.
So a big shout out to Justin. Thank you, sir, for your help.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Neighbors pulling together to do neighbor things.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
But again, come on out to the next meeting. Come out tomorrow night. Come out to American Legion Post, or actually out to First United Methodist Church between 6 and 8. If you want to learn more about Legion, like I said, the auxiliary and them will be there doing the bears. And if you want to drop off any of the supplies, or if you want to drop off stuff for the care packages, or if you want to say, hey, I want to sponsor Veterans Parade, or I want to do come out, or if you'd like, come out next Thursday, and that'll be our official meeting with all the Legionnaires and everybody there, and then you can learn. We'll get underway about 6 p.m. So come on out.
Yeah, new membership year starts Saturday, so we'll be pushing that out.
Getcha.
Real soon.
We got to keep, like I said, got to keep being number one in the top
auxiliary is
echelons
number
of
one in the
things
nation.
There, so, well, thank you guys, appreciate it. Try to take a little break for your next trip or whatever you got going on.
Oh yeah.
Here,
I think my next trip is I got to go back to Albuquerque for the 30 day.
Right.
Well, I'm live, breathe, and eat and sleep in UFO Festival the next 3 days.
I bet you are. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
By the way, your wife voluntold you. You do know.
Yeah,
right?
for the Veterans
You're-
Day.
Oh yeah.
You're
I'm
MC.
seeing it. I
Yep.
kind of assumed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your stick.
It's your shit.
Well, I'm not good at a lot of things. Talking is one of the things I'm good at, so I might as well use the one gift God gave me. Flap my gums.
There you go. For a good cause.
There you go. Thank you guys. We'll
Thanks
see
for
you here
having us,
next
Mike.
time.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Anytime. It's 9:50.